Hello, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to this week's episode of Ask a Clutter Boss. I will be your host here for the next few weeks as Jess is on vacation. So I am so thrilled to be here. So if you have any questions that weren't submitted prior to now, please feel free to put them into the comments, and I will check back there as soon as I address the couple that did come in. And say hello if you're here. I'd love to see who's watching and have a little chat with you, even through the comments here. It is possible. So let me know there if there's anything I could do to help. Hello, Susan. Good morning. Hello, Denise and Alex. Good morning. So I got a couple questions this week about some memorabilia things. So one of them, hello, Linda, one was about trophies and plaques. So if this is something that you are thinking about, what do I do with these? I'm not really sure how to dispose of them, or I want to keep the memory, but I'm not sure how to do that. I have a couple things that I will say. Some of the time, and this varies depending on who you are and what kind of how you want to honor the memories of these items. The trophies usually have those metal plaques on them. And those are removable. You can somehow get those off your trophies. And these you can take, depends on how many there are. You can get a shadow box or a frame, and you can then hang those up as a memory if that is what you would like to do. You can do this with many things. The plaques, depending on the size they are, if you're not going to hang those, taking pictures, making a memory book out of them is a really great idea as well. You can do the same thing with the trophies. I just wanted to throw out a couple different ideas there. So if you have decided you don't want to put space aside to store these items, good morning, Snowbird and Terry, how are you? Then we want to then think about what is it that we would like to do in terms of the memories here. Do we want to save some kind of picture or make a shadow box or make a frame of these items, or are we just looking to release them? And either way, it's totally fine. I just want to make sure I kind of cover all the things that I can think about when it comes to making decisions on these things. Good morning, Patty. So if you've decided that you're going to completely release them, it is okay to put them in the trash. You can recycle the metal if you really want to remove that. It would be scrap metal, I'm assuming. So if you have a local place where you can take that, cool. If not, this is totally fine to release that way. If you really wanted to look around locally to see if there is someone who recycles things like that, I would just do a simple Google search of that, or ask in a community group if you have one. So that is on the toss decision making. If you decide that you want to somehow, like you're ready to toss the actual item, but you'd like to somehow honor the memory of these, you can create something from those metal plaques off the trophies, as well as from a plaque itself. So for the bigger items, I would suggest pictures and a memory book of some kind. This will work really well for the plaques on trophies also. So you can make a shadow box or a frame memory item out of these little metal, the little metal plaques that come on the trophies. And then depending, like I said, on the size of the plaque itself, you could do the same thing. If it's something that you don't want to display necessarily, but you still want to hold on to that memory, you could do the same thing with pictures. So you can take pictures of the actual trophies and plaques. You can assemble the metal engraved plates off of all of them and take a picture that way. If you're taking individual pictures, you can make a memory book out of that, and then you have pictures of all of these things. I hope this helps, and this is really a way to get creative if you are looking to keep that memory alive, but you don't necessarily have to give space to these items, right? So you can decide how much space you're willing to give if you want it to be a display item or a memory book that you can just tuck away with some other photo albums or whatever it is that you might have. And that would be a great way to keep the actual items in a different form. But again, I always want to say memories of the events, the winnings, the success, and all of that around these trophies and plaques is not in the trophy and plaque. It is in your memories of those items. So, however you feel best in um, keeping those memories alive is great. I mean, the memory will never go away just because you decide to get rid of the item that you won because of that event. So, just want to put that out there for anything that seems like, one of those items that's harder to let go of because you feel like you should keep it because the memories of those things and honor the celebratory nature and the success of it. Really, that is not in the item itself, nor does that go away when the item is gone. So just keep that in mind. The other question we got was relating to digitizing photos and slides. So here's another memorabilia thing. And again, there is a variety of things, or there are a variety of things we can do here. So digitizing photos, for one, I would recommend Google Photos hands down for organizing photos online. To get them there, you do need to either scan or, pull over from your already digital camera roll. But you're welcome, Denise. So I'm not sure if your pictures are already, I'm assuming because it was a question of digitizing that they aren't actually on a digital device yet. There are a couple different ways you can do this, and it depends on the amount of time you have, the equipment you have available, and how much you're willing to invest in the project. So if your pictures are not digitized, they need to be scanned one way or another. So you can do that yourself if you have a scanner. Of course, this is time consuming, but you can look into a digitizing service. They are available. And if you're not comfortable mailing those items into that service, you can certainly look for a local one that would enable you to walk them in and not have to mail anything to them from your location to theirs. So if you are going to go the route of scanning yourself, this is a long-term project. Depending on how many photos you have, you're still going to have to individually scan each of those photos. There are flatbed scanners out there. You probably can't get one for less than a few $100s yet. If you have a big enough project and you price that out by outsourcing it, you may find that that is the better way to go, although it seems like it would be that one project thing, unless you are printing pictures still nowadays, which, I do know there are people that are still doing that, but not maybe in the volume that would make sense to have this device just for photo digitizing. Hello, Mitzi. So those are a couple things you can do is, well, they have to be scanned. So are you going to scan them or are you going to outsource that scanning? And that's really a decision that has to be made in terms of time and money, because it is going to involve both of those either way, right? So the time obviously will be greater if you decide to do it yourself. The money may be greater if you outsource, but your time is way more valuable. So it really depends on the level of investment you're looking to make there. For the slides, I don't think this is something you can do without outsourcing it. If there's anyone in this community that has had experience with digitizing slides on their own, that would be something you could share here. But I am not aware, and even in my quick search, when I saw this question come through, did I see a way to self-digitize slides? So that is something you would have to outsource. And I would, again, recommend that you look for somewhere local because I feel, at least for me, the concern of shipping any of these memorabilia items might be high, right? We might be concerned with it getting lost and not really wanting to ship it out and not have a backup, right? So I would look for somewhere local. There definitely are places you can ship to, but do your research and make sure if that is the route you need to go because there is nothing else available, that you're looking at reviews, you're really doing some research and making sure that it is a great way to go. So I recommend for anything like this where you feel like it is something you have to outsource, or even if you want to try to find a way to do it on your own, that you always do a Google search and look because there are some things that you might not be thinking about outside of even what I am suggesting here. So Definitely do that. It is a project for sure. All right. This is a project, and that's okay. But obviously, decluttering your photos, like getting rid of duplicates and all that, would be a first step. If you are going to take a collection, outsourcing some scanning or even doing them yourself, so that we're not duplicating effort. And I hope this is really helpful. And I appreciate the questions that came in. I'm curious if anyone watching has any other questions that they want to ask today that might be helpful, or comments on what I've just said. Um, I'm happy to chat a little bit here with you all in the comments. If not, I'll give it a few minutes here and then I will say goodbye for today's episode. I hope this was all helpful. Again, the form to submit questions is posted in our free Facebook group. It is also something that I think gets sent in an email each week. So if you are not receiving that link or don't see the post, please check out our free Facebook group. It's all Clutter. It is a pretty large group of amazing people that are super supportive, and there's lots and lots of information there. So if you're not already a member, we would absolutely love to have you. And the other thing I do want to remind everyone or announce, if you haven't already seen or heard, thanks, Alex. We have a brand new signature program called Clutter Boss Blueprint. It is going absolutely amazing. The members that were in CBA and have moved over, thanks, Debbie, are doing incredible. I mean, it has been such a joy to watch over the last 2 weeks how we've transitioned this and how impactful the upgrades that we made are. It's just been amazing, amazing, amazing. So great work, everyone. If anyone from Clutter Boss Blueprint is watching. And if you are curious at all about that, please reach out to me, Gina@clutterboss.com. There is a form to fill out for a strategy session with me to hear all about the upgrades and see if it's a fit for you. So definitely do that if this at all sounds interesting. We are here to support you. We are here to guide and hopefully give you tips, tricks, and strategies that will help you in your decluttering journey. So thank you all for listening. Have an amazing rest of your week, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.